Inside the ManCave with Johnny Compian.
Oh, yeah. Hey, put your finger in my fun hole.
It's beautiful.
Graphic language will be used throughout this show.
Now we ready to roll.
Inside the ManCave with Johnny Compian.
Game over, bitches.
Inside the ManCave podcast show. Follow me on Twitter at Johnny Compian. Want to thank everybody for the support on Twitter, on YouTube, on IG, on every platform that is available to mankind right now in 2022. Appreciate you tuning in. There's a couple things that popped up on my radar today. And a couple goodies. I like saving the good stuff, right? So, first of all, if you're on Twitter as much as I am, which I'm sure there's people out there that spend 24/7 on Twitter. So I ran across this this video. It was trending. Rage Against the Machines making a reunion tour. They're moving around. I think they were in Canada. And there was a fan that ran on stage. And let me show you the video right here. Check it out.
Hold on. Yeah! Fucking shit.
You saw that. Incredible video. Great angle. I felt bad for Tom Morello. And I'm just happy that he didn't get hurt. The way he went down, that security guard that was standing in the corner there the whole time, he's making sure nobody gets near that band. Nobody. Or a band member. Because, you know, in the days that we live in, you never know what happens. Look what happened to Dimebag. That's the first thing that came in my mind. It's like, you just don't understand how these guys are up there, and you don't know where it's coming from. They can be throwing batteries or bottles, or you never know. You just never know. You're just doing your job and you're jamming, and all of a sudden something happens, and you're either on the ground, you passed out. There's plenty of video out there. I'll probably post a little montage of a few funny videos that I've seen. I think the bass player, if I recall, the bass player for Faster Pussycat, they're playing. This was a few years back when I saw this video. They're live playing, and all of a sudden, I think they just hear something, and he just, boom, just like falls over, and he's out. I think he just passed out. He was just drunk. It's funny stuff. I'll see if I can find a video and put it in there so you can check it out. Hilarious. Yeah, but going back to this Rage Against the Machine video from the show they had, I think it was last night or the night before. Zach De La Rocha was sitting on a case. I think it was like a case, that carries a board or whatever. And so he's sitting there kind of doing his thing. He's jamming, singing. And I think he sees what's going on, and I don't know why he didn't stop right off the back. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It's kind of weird, like he just kept going, and you just don't hear. If you're used to hearing, guys played together for years. If there's a part missing in your music, if something stopped, if the bass player stops, or the guitar player, or the drummer, or the singer stops singing, everything just gets thrown off. And he just kept going. Morello was out. He was down with his legs up. He went down pretty quick. This big security dude came up and just took him out. I mean, he took him out. Watch the video. I just have an issue. Like I'm saying, I'm not pissed off. I just got a problem with Rocha just going back and just sitting there and just kind of not even like running over. And I mean, it was chaos for a second. I don't know. He probably was looking the opposite way, but all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, wait a minute. Hold on." And he jumps into action. So it was just me, the way I observed the video. But I felt like he took a little bit of his time to kind of jump in and say, "Hey, wait, let me save my guy. Let me get him out. I need this guy." Tom Morello, man. I love listening to Tom Morello on Sirius XM on Lithium. He has his mother. I think his mother's 98. He's always now announcing that she's always on with them, and she is the co-host of Tom Morello. It's a great show. Check it out if you can on Sirius XM. Love listening to that station. Lithium's good. Liquid Metal. There's a whole bunch of stuff on XM that I like listening to. Anyway, so yeah, I watching that, I kind of cringed. I really thought that he got hurt in the process. And it was crazy because, right before that, the band's playing and they got that, they're just high energy. And you see that crowd just pushing and pushing. There's a couple, like maybe 6 or 7 security. There's no way. There's no way you're going to stop a stampede from coming at you like that. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that Morello's not injured. Maybe he'll be a little sore. And he'll be back on XM. But go check out that video. It's really crazy. I don't know if you check it out as close as I do, but I was looking pretty close at Zach De La Rocha. When you you stream music, or you listen to XM. I'm plugging XM a lot. They should pay for my bill. But you hear bands like you hear all the time, right? Some of these satellite radios and local radio stations, they play the same songs that are on their playlist. And so you listen to them and you're like, I've heard this song, that song, and I'm really not into it. So I won't, buy their music or anything. But since, was it like 3 years ago, I really started to pay attention to Tool. I had friends who were huge Tool fans. I've never seen them live, never had the opportunity. They've passed through San Antonio, just never had the chance. And I'm kicking myself for it, because the more and more you go back from their latest stuff, which I have all on vinyl, that stuff is going around. They released something like 2 months ago. So like a 5 vinyl set. But going back, you go back a little bit more into their archives and listen to some of that music. It's pretty strong, man. I am really coming out with a lot of second thoughts on my opinion about Tool. Those guys are really, really good. So, whenever you got to give music a chance, because we all have that attention span of, you got to click us on within a minute or two, or if not, we're gone. We're jetting. We're thinking of something else. We're moving on. You got to keep us engaged. But for us, we have a lot of stuff to get engaged to, right? There's a lot of cool music. So we have like options in music, sports, and every type of media that you get into. There's choices and tiers. But I'm kicking myself, like I told you guys. I'm kicking myself for not listening to Tool years ago. Just been missing out. But it's great that I can catch up with them now. There was huge news in San Antonio that broke earlier today about the XFL. They had a big old townhouse meeting in somewhere, I think, out close to Oklahoma, I guess, in Texas. I think they were at a Chictaw, either a resort or a sports venue. And The Rock comes out, and you've been seeing a lot of The Rock lately, right? Every time with those slacks and that muscle shirt, you're like, dude. I loved him when he was in, part of the WWE. Of course, I watched The Rock in wrestling. I loved wrestling growing up. I don't do it anymore. I can't. It's gotten too outrageous. I just lost track. It's just too many storylines and things to keep up with. One guy that I can always keep up with in wrestling is Stone Cold Steve Austin. I love that guy. That guy, I just would love to talk to him, hang out with him. He'd probably just give me a fucking hard time because I just dude, you're lazy. You don't work out. You don't do stuff. You need to and I'm sure we'd drink a lot of beer. And that'd be the cool part about hanging out with Steve Austin. He's one of my favorite guys. But, man, it's crazy how Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, has been around. I mean, he's doing voiceovers on animated movies. And now he's involved in the XFL. McMahon, the owner who just stepped down, he retired because he had a bunch of stuff that they caught him, and he had to kind of walk away. So, The Rock landed the XFL. Can it succeed? Can it succeed? And they got 8 cities they picked. And here's the video. Check it out.
Some look at this place and only see a football field.
But it's more than that.
This is hallowed ground.
This is an opportunity.
To build a league of culture, passion, and purpose.
To live a dream.
Our work is cut out for us, but we wouldn't have it any other way.
This will be earned. We'll give it every last ounce of football-loving energy in the tank.
And then we'll give it more.
Our hearts.
Our souls.
This is for the players, the coaches, the cities, the fans.
For stories untold.
For potential unrealized.
We are hungry. We are humble.
And no one will outwork us.
The XFL is back.
Back for the love
of football.
There you go. If you're one of those cities that ended up getting a team. Isn't that awesome? San Antonio earned a team. So now we got to figure out a name for it. What are the helmets going to... That's very important to me, right off the back. You got to have a cool name, and you have to have a cool uniform. Right? Two things, man. It can't be like the Gunslingers. Yeah, that was the San Antonio Gunslingers. Cool uniforms. I remember seeing them at the Alamo Stadium. Garrett at the helm. Jason Garrett. Yeah, I think it's very important. I'm happy for the city because there's nothing going on here. Anything that we can... we'll take an XFL team and see if we don't fold like the Commanders. They are... The league has got some great pieces and some good cities. You got Vegas, you got Houston. Wade Phillips is going to be coaching. It's going to be very, very interesting. I'm trying to put this all in my head. It's going to be at the Alamo Dome. They already started promoting it. It was all over Twitter on ticket sales, and if you can start buying and putting a deposit down to get your season tickets ready, for the 2023 season that's going to be coming up. So after NFL's done, the XFL will kick in. And hopefully it will do good. See how it is. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think you got the right person. I think you got the right person in charge for it to work, because anything the guy is touching, it's working. Whatever these marketing people are seeing in The Rock, it's working because he is the face right now. You have these trends that happen in Hollywood and in the music business that sometimes these bands, look at Stranger Things on Netflix. Look what happened to Metallica. Look at these artists that, where the song from Metallica, Master of Puppets, plays and the sales just skyrocket and it becomes something new again. That's good for Metallica and cool for Stranger Things. A lot of good stuff for the fan base. But anything The Rock is touching right now it's gold. So, I'm hoping that San Antonio doesn't F this up, because that's the first thing that I'm thinking is oh God, okay, we need a name. Let's call Nelson Wolf. Hey, we need a name for the new XFL team, Nelson Wolf, with his bandana and around his neck. Little howdy doody look. Let's call Nelson. Who else? Let's get somebody else on the phone. The mayor. Let's get the mayor on the phone. Let's get a name. Let's get some names, and they come up with some stupid fucking names. No. Give us a cool name. Give us a cool helmet and some cool uniforms and some cool merch. We don't have anything right now. Nobody wants to wear old Spurs gear. And what you see around in the city, you see a lot of people wearing old Dallas Cowboys shirts, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, give us some cool merch. Make us look mean. Don't make us look like... Whatever you do, don't put any weird colors on the uniforms. Because I don't want to show up in Vegas to play the Vegas team and look like we're in Fiesta or something. We don't need that. We need something solid and strong. We need to be intimidating. So don't call Nelson Wolf for any suggestions for names for this, XFL team. Don't do it. No. Put the phone down, mayor or whoever. Let's get it done right. Hines Ward's going to be leading the San Antonio question marks. I still haven't figured out a name. There's people going out on social media that are coming up with some funny names. There's a list of them. So, yeah, people are already having fun with this, which, hey, there's nothing wrong with it, right? I think it's hilarious. But at least we can have fun with it and not call Nelson Wolf or the mayor to decide this. Let us, the people of San Antonio, take charge of this, and we will do fine. We don't need your help, Wolfie.
Kick ass! Ow, ow, ow!
Oh, yeah.
But I'm excited. Something to be excited about. In this city of San Antonio, 2023, we will have an XFL team. And that's what the mayor, Ron Nirenberg, was kind of, putting out there. I'm sure that the WWE, Dwayne Johnson and his people of the XFL had been in contact with the city already. It's been in works. And so he knew something. That's why. Oh, we're going to get a pro team. And like, dude, don't tease us. You can't put a fucking NFL team in that Alamo Dome, that shithole. That's perfect. This thing is perfect for the XFL because if it doesn't work, we didn't lose anything. Like, we didn't go out and pay for another stadium. So it'll be cool because, we won't lose anything in the process. Agree, disagree? Tweet at me at Johnny Compian. Let me know your thoughts on this. What could we name the new XFL team in San Antonio? I'm still thinking. I don't have nothing comes to mind of a cool name for our XFL team. I need to put a Twitter poll up. Or you guys tweet at me and then we can have, excuse me. We can vote and we can share our name with, everybody around the city. Hey, this is what we got. And maybe you never know. You never know what happens. But there was so much stuff that happened, I'm sure going into this because they got also St. Louis. Let me get the list of the teams that are going to be in the XFL. It's crazy because it's going to be in Arlington. Like, you need something else there. I wonder why. How much is Jerry getting for letting them in, the XFL in their backyard while the Cowboys take an early exit in the playoffs? Or not even in the playoffs. Maybe don't even make the playoffs this year. Houston, Orlando, Las Vegas, San Antonio, Seattle, St. Louis, and Washington, D.C. Those are your 8 teams. Your 8 cities that are going to inherit a XFL team. And see if it lasts. If it lasts a season, 2 seasons, who knows? We have a great opportunity to do something with this if this works and it really blows up. Because Vince McMahon owned it and he cut it loose. He's kind of just lost. The guy had so many projects going on, I'm sure. And he just didn't have the time to be like, you know what, his WWE was his baby. But he's retired already. He's moved on because he had to pay out a bunch of money. And the word is out. So he had to step down. So, it's kind of crazy how all that, happened so quick. And, but that family, It's crazy how things happen. And nowadays, there's things that you don't there's things that you don't mess with, do or say, because it could have taken down his own business. Because if people decide to come out and say, hey, you know what, he did this to me, he did that to me, he paid out, and it's like, you know what, let's leave it right here. You go your way, I go my way, here's the money. And there was a large amount of people that had put in a claim, so he had to pay out. So I guess that's why he had to step down. I'm sure there's a lot more in there. I don't have all the details on that story, but he was the owner. He's the one that brought this, the XFL. And then he sold it off to The Rock. Good friends. Like, hey, you take it, man. He gave it to the right person. I couldn't see Steve Austin, doing this project. And I think The Rock is right because he played football. And one of the promos that I showed earlier, I mean, he's going up and he's getting in it. And he starts faking it. It's great. It's a great promo. I like his personality. He's really good on camera. So it's going to work. It's going to work for him. Let's see if they add more teams as we go, if we can make it, a season or two. But in Arlington, the Chickasaw Stadium, it's going to be Bob Stoops coaching that team there. Because I don't think, nobody has names yet. So we'll see what they have in Arlington. Houston, Wade Phillips, like I said earlier. And Rod Woodson is going to be coaching the Las Vegas squad. And Hines Ward, Super Bowl champion, Steelers, will be at the helm in San Antonio. So that's exciting, right? He was fired up. I love that guy. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch this. It's football. And there's other leagues that I watched I couldn't really get into. I really couldn't get into it. I tried and it just didn't work for me. It just wasn't there. It wasn't the same. So I just kind of had to just walk away. You get the NFL. To me, I'm like, the NFL Super Bowl's done. Big old party or whatever. It's done. Now you got something to be excited about. It's already picked up by ESPN and somebody else. I don't know the other network. So they'll be televised. Let's see how ticket sales go. Let's see what it does in a week. Let's see how ticket sales do, because you can put a deposit down and see how the city of San Antonio, supports this team right off the back and show that you're hungry. You say you want that you can support an NFL team in this city. Well, let's see what we can do in a week. Let's see if we can sell a lot of tickets. You got plenty of space, plenty of real estate at the Alamo Dome. See what you can do, San Antonio. I'm not going to buy a season. I could tell you right now, I'm not going to buy. Nope. And I'm sure there's fans already that are already called. They've already got their stuff set. You know what? Take my money. Take my money. That's cool. Hey, you know what? You got to go for it. You got to support your city. You got to start somewhere, right? The Commanders didn't succeed. They folded. Now you got another opportunity. Let's see if we could do this right this time. If the league runs it right, and it looks like, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, he's a business guy now. He's a business guy, so he knows how to market his product and sell it. He's learned a lot from the WWE, because he would not be where he's at right now without the WWE. They come out and they put out people who you got to act. Right? You got to act and stand out and get the numbers. You got to sell that merch, and you got to sell yourself in that business. And he was really good at it. You had Stone Cold. I mean, there's like Dark Side of the 90s on the cable network. And I passed by it a couple times, and you'll see a couple storylines from wrestling and just bad things that happen on the inside that you don't hear about. And it's pretty sad. So this is going to be a new venture, and I'm really going to keep my eye on it because I want the city of San Antonio to do the right thing. Like I said, it starts with the name. It starts with the name, starts with the look, and how you present this team, how you're going to sell it to us. It's not a gimmick. The XFL, it sounds cool. I like the way it sounds, the XFL. It sounds cool. You know, they're going to revamp everything from when McMahon had it. They're going to revamp. You know, there's some cool promos out there. I'll show them to you guys. But it's exciting. It's exciting for the city of San Antonio to finally have something beside the Spurs, the Missions. What else do you got? The soccer team. That thing was not good. And I like soccer. I mean, look what they're doing up in Austin. I like it. It's just San Antonio never really embraced it. I remember being a part of a radio station in town, and when the Scorpions came out, the San Antonio Scorpions came out, and hey, we got this team, MLS or whatever it was. I don't recall, so I don't follow it. And I don't think to right now, I really don't hear anything. You don't see anything, or I mean, I think was it last year, the year before, the Austin FC came in and played, I guess, the Scorpions team or whatever they're called, because the Spurs bought them. Spurs took them over. So they were trying. And, you know, the more we bring in and the more we can show, you know, the bigger the city can grow, and we can maybe at some point, when Jerry Jones allows this city to move forward to get an NFL team, and we can get some money and get a stadium, an outdoor cool stadium, state of the art. You can bring in huge concert shows. You know, when you can do that, then, you know, maybe you don't have to worry about bringing the next convention in, and not, you know, you can live off other stuff. And I'm not too knowledgeable on how the city does it, to pitch and to get all this stuff. But yeah, the Alamo Dome is getting you, in the Grand Hyatt, in that Henry B. Gonzalez place, whatever it's called, that little box. Like, I don't like it. So you got to think big, and this is something that we can add and we can start building on to see if San Antonio can support a team. And I mean, the support is out there. You have a handful of people, fans that will come out and support these events, because there was people when the Scorpions first came out. And I remember, you know, being on the radio as a producer, and people were, you know, kind of calling in and wanting to find out about ticket info, and they wanted season tickets. And after that, it just faded out. Then the Spurs took over, and I just haven't heard anything from them. They just kind of disappeared. And that stadium area is pretty cool. They have it's like a complex. I think they have other soccer games, but it's too freaking hot to be outdoors doing that kind of stuff. So it's crazy. It's crazy, and I'm happy that this is going on in the city of San Antonio. Finally, there's something to be happy about. And, I look forward to seeing what they bring out, what the name would be of the team, what they have, what the, their whole concept is that, they're going to be the chupacabras, or, who knows? Who knows? You got to have something solid, man. Remember that when you make that move, just think of one thing. Do not call Nelson Wolff, please. Or the mayor. Don't let him make any decisions either. The mayor Nuremberg, he was growing on me a little bit because I saw some pictures of our mayor here in San Antonio. I don't know if that was him or if it was somebody that looked like the mayor, but he was spotted at a Judas Priest concert. The last time the Priest stopped in San Antonio, our mayor was there hanging out. I saw the picture for my, through my own eyes. So yeah, it looked like him. Looked like the mayor. But I don't know in that picture if he had a beer in his hand or he's just kind of chilling. He had like a ginger ale or. So that was cool. So that's how he started winning points with me. He's like, okay, you go to a Judas Priest. Okay, we're cool, man. So anyway, moving back into the music news that we got, and this story here is a huge story for me because I've talked about countless times on my podcast that I'm a huge, huge U2 fan. And started early on, when I first heard them, I just love the music. I love the way I just love it. I love U2. And I'm sure there's people who hate U2, who can't stand them. I love U2. And I've never had a chance to see U2. Never. There was a few things that, that I wanted to get off my bucket list. And one of them I still haven't got off that list is U2, seeing U2 live. It's crazy because I have a few friends and people that I know in this circle, the friends I have on social media, who there's like one guy that I know, and he sells concert tickets. He's a huge U2 fan. So he can go wherever. He's seen all the good tours, sat really close, and I just lived through him. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. So I'm excited to hear this news. The MGM group in Las Vegas is building a state-of-the-art venue. It looks crazy. Check this out.
Las Vegas is building the largest spherical structure in the world with the world's largest LED screen. But what more does it offer? And how many people can it hold? Apart from having the largest screen in the world inside the dome, the whole spheres outside will also be covered in LED screens. This means that you can turn it into any spherical object you want. Maybe your favorite planet, or why not the world's largest jawbreaker? The building's exterior will also be used to promote the venue's sponsors and any highlights of the performances being held. Close to what you would see at T-Mobile Arena, for example. Built by the Madison Square Garden and Las Vegas Sands Corporation, the exterior screens of the massive arena will also allow people outside of the venue to view what's going on inside. Have you ever walked past a concert and thought, I'd love to see who's performing? Well, now it's possible. Inside the venue, the interior wraparound LED screen alone measures 14,864 square meters, with a resolution of 19,000 by 13,500 pixels. That is a resolution 100 times better than today's HD TVs. To keep up with the screen, thorough partnership with Berlin-based audio company Holoplot, the acoustic system will utilize around 160,000 ultra-directional speakers with beamforming technology and an infrasound haptic system, so the audience can feel the sound, not only hear it. This technology creates an immersive environment that'll allow two people sitting at different places to hear and feel two different things, creating a unique experience for every guest. There will also be the option to extend the stage in modular sections. Adding this includes the ability to extend it forward toward the audience, as well as control the width and its height. This is full versatility. Below the stage, there will be a space for the artists and performers for after parties. But with a venue of this size in the desert city of Las Vegas, you would turn into a puddle instantly. Therefore, the interior will have 3 different layers of cooling, including one beneath the seating. You will also have stellar Wi-Fi due to the new connectivity system. This way you can easily share your experience with your friends. The spherical shape is not only a signature element of the design, but also enables an entirely new medium for fully immersive experiences. Construction on the unique venue broke ground in September of 2019. Since then, there has been a lot of progress, including finishing the final structural steel placement, although the full completion date is estimated to be in the second half of 2023. At its widest point, the sphere will be over 109 meters tall and just over 157 meters wide, making it the largest spherical structure in the world when it's finished. Inside, there will be standing room for 2,500 guests and 23 VIP suites. But the total capacity is a lot more than that. You might think, sure, it's an incredible venue, but what type of events can I see? Well, name it. And Las Vegas MSG Sphere will probably host it. Everything from sporting events like wrestling, boxing, mixed martial arts, as well as musical performances, corporate events, and award shows are expected to fill this amazing arena. There have also been unique proposals for esports. They call it mass gaming. Imagine thousands of people playing all together at once. There are also immersive storytelling opportunities that they hope will feel like VR without the goggles. And for all the F1 fans, one of its biggest suggested events will be a sports collaboration with the Formula One Grand Prix race. The race on the Strip in November 2023 will have a 3.8-mile, 14-turn route that would go through the Sphere's location behind the Venetian. Imagine thousands of Grand Prix race fans watching the action with the largest spherical structure in the world in the background. There have also been discussions with the UFC about the idea of staging an MMA show in the Sphere, but nothing's planned yet, as the UFC is a tenant at T-Mobile Arena. But you have to admit, an MMA fight in the Sphere would be quite amazing. The main atrium will feature 4 floors with freestanding escalators and bridges, offering a clear view of the space below from many different points. When it's your first time visiting the Sphere, the arena itself might actually capture your attention more than the entertainment itself. Weighing 13,000 tons with 6 million pounds of steel being used, it of course comes with some construction challenges. The domed roof structure was built using 32 different 60-meter-long trusses that each weigh more than 100 tons and are self-supporting. For this, of course, some pretty incredible equipment is being utilized by the 1,400 workers on site. One of the cranes being used on site is actually the 4th largest in the world, and just that took 18 days to put it together.
Now I have to go to Vegas for this. I'm very excited to hear that news today about this venue. They're going to be the first show in this Las Vegas Strip that it's going to open up next year, according to Billboard, and it's going to be crazy because U2 played in Vegas in 2018 at the T-Mobile when that was new. Now they have this place. It's crazy. I mean, you saw the video there. It's cool. It's a cool place. The sound is supposed to be insanely crazy. It's $1 billion venue. It's a 1.8 billion project. But only in Vegas, right? And U2's probably hitting that wall where they're like, you know what? We don't want to tour anymore. We can be in one place for a month, make our money, and then we can go back to Dublin or wherever they go hang out and be U2. But this is crazy. I'm so excited about it. I'm hoping that I'm able to get to Vegas in 2023 and just witness one show. It's going to be so crazy. I'm sure tickets, because there'll be people from all over the world coming in for that. A U2 residency in Las Vegas, that's going to be crazy. I have to go. But in reality, I probably will not get an opportunity to go to this because, all the people with cash will buy everything up. They want to be there. They're huge, just like a Pearl Jam concert. If they would have something like this, it would sell out quick, and there would be no way that you would get in the door. But I will be surprised if I'm able to get a ticket to get into this venue and see U2 and hear Bono and The Edge live. Happy, good news. So many things going on, and it makes it better for me as a podcaster who's trying to take off and do stuff like this where you can have fun and come out and just chat about stuff like this that you're interested in and other people are interested. It was pretty cool. Last night I was over at a friend of mine's house, one of my good friends, and we hadn't, it's been like 2 years after everything that's going on with the pandemic. Everything was cut off, right? You couldn't go out and hang out. You couldn't come over to your friends, and now you're able to do that. So I was able to hang out with one of my best friends last night, and it was just us two, man. We got beer, just kind of just chilled, man. Just watched, some boxing and drank beer, and I think we attempted to live stream, and it just didn't work. We couldn't put two and two together. We were just having a good time. So there might be maybe some excerpts I got from last night. I don't remember much. It was great. I had a great time. And I'm glad I got out and did that. But I need to document a lot of this stuff because it was entertaining. It was entertaining and fun. And I think I kind of like when you can be yourself and just cut loose, right? Cut loose, be yourself, and you can just enjoy it. That's what I had last night. Just cut loose. Had some, plenty of soda pops, and it was just cool. It was cool hanging out and getting out. So I appreciate you guys kind of coming in and supporting my podcast and my channel on YouTube. Subscribe to it. Share it with your friends. And I got an update. I had my goal. My goal was set at 10 subscribers, right? From here to December. Well, I got huge news today. I got 10 subscribers. Wow. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I got 10 subscribers. I asked and you guys delivered. I mean, I'm so thankful for it. I'm so thankful that you're paying attention and you're not letting me talk to myself. And I'm getting feedback from a couple of people who want to come on. There's a guy who reached out. I don't want to mention his name yet, but he reached out and says, "Hey, dude, let me know next time you're going to come on. I got a couple things that I want to talk about." And see, that is cool. So I'm going to set it up. I'm going to get a hold of the guy during the week. And I don't do these early, which I should, because now I got to, fix everything and do the work, put the legwork in, right? So I got to set it up, bring this guy on and see what he wants to bring, what to the table and what we can chat about. I don't mind. Whatever. He wants to come on and talk about whatever, I'll listen to him. If he's got something cool, you know, that we, the 10 subscribers that we have will react and kind of agree or disagree with you. So now we got like a little clan, right? Of viewers. And I think that, you know, it means a lot because when I started this, I wasn't really engaged in it. I was like, because that's what all I do all the time. That's all I work on 24/7. And then for me to put on another project, you know, something that I have in my head that I want to put out there and share. And I'm like, you know what? I don't get paid to do this. So I don't want to do it. That was my attitude in the beginning. So I was chatting with a friend, and you know, a few years back, and he's like, "Dude, you need to create a platform for yourself because you always bring up some good points, and you always bring up some interesting topics. And when you were in the business, you always had some good stories that you would pass on to your talent that they would talk about, and they would." You know, these stories, they would become part of the show. You know, it was little stories that I would come across and we would do something with them. So now I'm adopting all that. I changed my mind. I want to focus on this project and do more, you know, be more consistent. I think I hit a record high today of views on one of my videos that I put out a day ago. It's the highest that I've ever done. I mean, it's crazy how you guys have responded. And I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you guys finding it kind of engaging. Even if you can come in for a couple minutes, check out what I'm talking about, and you move on. That helps me, you know, trying to achieve what I'm trying to get my goal. So man, I'm so grateful for you guys. Keep them coming. I don't want to, that's all I asked for. I said all I wanted was 10. So let's just stay at 10. You know, if that's all the viewers I got or subscribers, I'm cool with it. But if you want to subscribe, if you're new and every time I pop on, you want to get a notification like, hey, he's coming on. He's going to come up with something. He's got something. You'll get notified and you'll be the first to know. So I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful. I'm happy about it. I will try to keep you guys engaged and bring up some things that you don't hear about because we're so oversaturated with information on social media and on different platforms where every city and small town you go to, everybody has something going on, either for the community, you know, everybody has something that they're talking about in podcast and TV, community TV. I mean, all this, it works. We all like help each other out at the end of the day. And this is what I have done on my own. I haven't had anybody help me out with this. I've kind of launched this on my own. And it's crazy to see my analytics because they peaked just a little bit and then they kept going up and they would go back down and up. And all of a sudden, when I sat down and I really thought about this and said, you know what, it's time to move forward with this project. Let's do it. You know, let's do it now because at least I can say I tried. And I didn't give in. Because that's what I would do in the beginning. I would just be like, this is too much. And now I love doing this because you know what? You guys are responding. I'm not talking to myself anymore. I got 10 subscribers and I got pretty good views on all of my videos that I've got up on my YouTube page at Johnny Compian Inside the ManCave podcast show. Look it up. You know, if you get a chance, click on it, check out some of the videos, hit the like button on them. And you know how that works. So thank you so much, everybody that's my subscriber circle. let's keep it going, man. Let's keep this going. I will see you guys soon. I'm going to go back to work and figure out what I want to do on my next podcast. If you got anything that you want to bring up or if you want to jump on, that'd be great. That would be awesome. Tweet at me, DM me, at Johnny Compian on Twitter and all across social media, Facebook, whatever else you got. Jump on. I will respond if I can pretty quick. If not, I'll get to you at some point. I always respond to the messages and stuff. So I appreciate you guys listening and viewing this. Thank you so much. Tweet at me at Johnny Compian on Twitter. And you can also support the podcast show on anchor.fm/Johnny5150.